Before we get into this story, real quick, if you are new here, hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. New stories drop every week and you do not want to miss them. Drop your city in the comments. Now let us get into it. The after-party smells like expensive candles and quiet desperation. The venue is a rooftop penthouse in the financial district. All white marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a skyline that looks like it was designed to make you feel small. The crowd inside is the kind of crowd that makes you want to reinvent yourself on the spot. Everyone is dressed like a vision board. Everyone is performing confidence. Zeke Carter stands near the window, arms crossed, jaw tight. He is wearing a fitted black turtleneck tucked into charcoal-tailored trousers. Clean white leather sneakers with no scuffs. A single gold chain, barely visible above the neckline. His fade is fresh and sharp. His eyes are scanning the room like he is looking for an exit and a reason to stay at the same time. He is 27. He is the founder of a creative consultancy called Current that just won its first major corporate contract, a deal that took 3 years and 4 near collapses to close. Tonight is the official celebration. The people who doubted him 2 years ago are now laughing too loud at things he never said. His phone buzzes. His business partner and childhood friend, Dev, appears at his side wearing a burnt orange satin shirt, 2 bracelets, and the vibe of someone who started celebrating 3 hours ago. She actually came, Dev says, nodding toward the elevator. Zeke does not turn around immediately. She said she would. Bro. She is your data analyst. Not your person. There is a gap there. I know what she is. Do you? Because you checked the guest list 3 times looking for her name. Zeke finally turns. Her name is Priya. And Priya on and walks into the room wearing a deep burgundy wrap dress that moves when she moves. Minimal gold jewelry. Small hoop earrings and a thin bangle on her left wrist. Her dark wavy hair is pinned back on one side, the rest falling loose. Low nude heels. She looks like she belongs everywhere and nowhere all at once. She scans the room once. Finds him immediately. Something flickers across her face. She tucks it away before it can mean anything. Nobody in this room knows what she actually built for him. They did not see the night 8 months ago when Current was 72 hours from losing its only anchor client. They did not see Zeke sitting on the floor of his office surrounded by spreadsheets and a pitch deck that had been rejected twice. They did not see who showed up with a laptop, black coffee, and the kind of honesty that lands without a warning. Priya had looked at everything and said, "Here is what the data actually shows. Here is the pattern you have been ignoring. And here is the only move that saves this." She rebuilt the entire analytics framework in 2 weeks while managing her own freelance work on the side. No one compensated her for the extra hours. No one asked her to stay. She just did. The investors in this room raising glasses right now? They arrived after the storm passed. Priya walked straight into it. So yes. She is here tonight. She earned this room more than anyone in it. Zeke starts moving toward her. Dev grabs his arm. Wait. His voice drops. There is something you need to know before she gets over here. Zeke stops. Dev's jaw tightens. He looks at Priya across the room, then back at Zeke like he is carrying something heavy. Last week she had a private meeting with Apex Group. The name lands like a cold wave. Apex Group. Current's biggest competitor. The same company that tried to buy out Zeke's client list 6 months ago. Zeke does not move for 3 full seconds. The skyline behind him glitters like it does not care. The party keeps going. Someone laughs too loud near the bar. Dev watches Zeke's face go from still to unreadable to something that looks almost like grief. Say that again, Zeke says. Apex Group. Tuesday. A lunch meeting. I saw the calendar invite on accident when she screen shared the quarterly report. That does not mean anything. It might mean everything. Zeke exhales slowly. He turns back toward Priya, who is now being stopped by someone near the drinks table. She smiles politely. Her eyes keep drifting across the room. She is looking for him. He knows that. And it makes it worse. He walks over anyway. "You made it," he says when he reaches her. "I said I would." She looks up at him. "You look like you are already somewhere else in your head." "Long night." "Long 3 years," she says, and there is something underneath the words that neither of them touches. They stand beside each other, looking out at the skyline. "You okay?" she asks. "Ask me a real question." She turns to look at him fully now. "Did you actually want me here tonight? Or did you need me here to feel like the night was real?" That lands. He looks at her for a beat too long. Both. And that is probably a problem. She does not look away. "Only if you make it one." His phone buzzes. He glances at it. An anonymous message. 4 words. "Ask her about Tuesday." He goes cold. He holds up the phone so she can see the screen. Her expression does not break. But something in her eyes shifts. A door closing behind them. "Who sent that?" she asks, her voice perfectly even. "That is what I need to figure out." She looks at the phone, then at him. "Zeke. Apex Group," he says quietly. Not an accusation. Not yet. Just the name. Dropped between them like a match near something flammable. The silence is unbearable. She looks away first. And that is the moment everything changes. They find a quieter corner. The party continues behind them, all noise and light and zero awareness of what is dissolving 10 feet away. "I can explain," Priya says. "Then explain it." She takes a breath. Looks at the floor. Then back at him. "Apex reached out to me 4 months ago. Right after the pitch you almost lost. They offered me a full-time role. Lead analyst. Double what I was making freelance. And you met with them." "I met with them. Once. Last week." She pauses. "I turned them down." Silence. "Why didn't you tell me?" he says. "Because I knew what it would look like. And I did not want one conversation to undo everything we built." "Priya." His voice is low. "Careful. If they recruited you, that means they knew what you did for Current. Which means someone on the inside told them." Her brow pulls together. "What are you saying?" "I am saying there is a leak. And you had a private meeting with the people who benefit from it." She stares at him. "You think I told them something?" He does not answer fast enough. "Zeke." Her voice cracks just slightly at the edges. "I rebuilt your entire strategy from scratch. I stayed when you had nothing. I turned down double the money because I believed in what you were building." She steps closer. "And you cannot even say it out loud. That you trust me." "I want to." "That is not the same thing." She turns to leave. He catches her wrist, not hard, just enough. "The message," he says. "The anonymous one. Someone is setting this up. Someone wanted me to find out about your meeting tonight specifically. At this event. In this way." She stops. He watches it move across her face. The realization. The pieces connecting. She turns back around slowly. "Dev," she says. Zeke goes still. "Dev saw the calendar invite. He is the one who told you tonight." Her voice is steady but her hands are not. "And he is the only one who knew I turned Apex down. Because I told him. 2 days ago." Privately. I told him to give me a chance to tell you myself. The floor feels like it tilts. Zeke looks across the party at Dev, who is laughing at the bar with two people from the Apex account team. The Apex account team. At current celebration party. He invited them, Zeke says, barely audible. Priya does not say anything. She does not need to. The betrayal is already in the room. Zeke crosses the room like the party does not exist. Dev sees him coming. The laughter fades. One of the Apex people clocks the energy and quietly steps back. Let's talk, Zeke says. Bro, relax. Tonight is supposed to be a celebration. Outside. They end up on the service stairwell. Concrete walls. A single fluorescent light buzzing overhead. No performance. No audience. How long? Zeke says. Dev leans against the wall. Crosses his arms. You don't even know what you're asking. I know exactly what I'm asking. How long have you been feeding information to Apex Group? A pause. Something shifts in Dev's face. The ease falls away. 8 months, Dev says. The number punches the air out of the room. 8 months, Zeke repeats. That is before the pitch. Before the contract. Before everything. They were going to win anyway. Their resources, their network. I was protecting myself. You were my partner. I was your shadow. Dev's voice goes flat. You got the credit. You got the features. You got the profile. I built half of what people call your vision, and my name was always second. Always a footnote. Zeke says nothing for a long moment. Because some of that lands. Some of it is true. And he knows it. So you burned it down, Zeke says finally. I made a business decision. You sent that message tonight. You timed all of this to happen here. In front of everyone. Dev looks away. I wanted her to take the fall. I thought you would assume she was the leak. Clean exit for me. She stayed up for 3 days fixing what you almost destroyed. While you were selling information. Dev does not respond. What did they offer you? Zeke asks. Senior partner. Equity stake. Dev looks at the floor. Things you never offered me. Because I thought we were building something together. We were building your something. There is a difference. The light above them flickers. Zeke steps back. His hands are shaking slightly. Not from anger. From the specific grief of losing something you thought was solid. I have to go talk to my lawyer tonight, Zeke says. You should probably get your things. Dev says nothing. Zeke pushes open the stairwell door. The sound of the party floods back in. He stands in the doorway between the noise and the quiet. He turns back once. I would have given you equity, he says. You just never asked. He walks back in. Priya is exactly where he left her. Watching the door. Waiting. She reads his face before he says a word. Is it bad? She asks. Yeah. Are you okay? He looks at her for a long moment. At someone who stayed when leaving would have been easier. Who turned down double the money and said nothing about it because she did not want to make things complicated. I don't know yet, he says honestly. She nods. That is enough. I owe you an apology, he says. You owe me nothing. I would do it again. She pauses. That is the problem, honestly. There is something raw in that. Something that lives right on the line between professional and real. His phone rings. It is his lawyer. He glances at it. Then back at her. Stay, he says quietly. After all of this. Stay and we will actually talk. It is the first time he has ever asked her for something that has nothing to do with work. She looks at him for a beat. Then she takes off her heels, holds them in one hand, and leans back against the window. "I am not going anywhere," she says. Outside, the city keeps moving. Below them, somewhere in the crowd, Dev walks out of the building alone. And the door he chose closes behind him. 3 months later. Current second major contract closes on a Thursday afternoon. It is bigger than the first. Priya sends a single text when she sees the news go live. "You did it." Zeke reads it standing in the middle of his new office. The walls are still bare. There are unopened boxes stacked in the corner. A whiteboard full of plans no one has second-guessed yet. He types back, "We did it." Then he deletes it. Then he types it again. Then he sends it. She does not respond right away. That is fine. He is learning that some things take time to become what they are. The legal situation with Dev was handled quietly and quickly. No public statements. No drama. Just documentation, consequences, and the slow work of rebuilding trust in systems that had been quietly compromised for months. It cost Zeke more than money. It cost him a version of himself that believed loyalty came automatically with history. He knows better now. He offered Priya a full partnership 3 weeks after the party. Equity included. Her name on the door. She said she needed a week to think about it. She came back in 4 days. "I have one condition," she said, standing in the middle of this same half-empty office. "Name it." "We communicate like adults. No more letting things build until they explode. No more almost moments that never get finished." He had looked at her for a long second. "You are talking about the business." "I am talking about everything," she said. That was the conversation. Short. Clean. No performance. Just two people deciding to stop pretending something wasn't there. They are not a love story yet. Maybe they never will be. What they are is something harder to name and more valuable than most things people rush to define. They are two people who chose each other when it was inconvenient. Who stayed in the difficult rooms. Who said the true thing even when it complicated everything. Tonight the office is quiet. Outside, the city is doing what cities do. Moving without waiting for anyone to catch up. Zeke stands at the window. Priya is at the desk behind him, working through something on her laptop. Her heels are off. There is coffee going cold beside her keyboard. A playlist she picked is running low in the background. "Hey," she says without looking up. "Yeah. This is going to work." He looks at the city. At the skyline he once watched from someone else's party, feeling like a guest in his own success. "I know," he says. And for the first time in a long time, he actually means it. The end.